Fakes on Vinnie Johnson. Feeds it out to Scottie Pippen. 24-second violation.
Hold it, he knocked him down.
24-second violation. Detroit gets the ball. Scottie Pippen was dazed on the play. He's still down. Detroit taking advantage. Sally's pull-up jumper. Rimming no. Rebound.
Scottie Pippen starting to go down the lane on the play. He takes it down here. Rodman goes up and just whiplashes him right in the face. Kicks him right smack in the face before he could get the shot off.
Mahorn. And the rebound by Grant. Scottie Pippen was hit in the face and he's hurt. Joe Crawford is dragging him off the floor as play continues.
Here we have the replay. You can see Pippen right in the center of your screen. He's going up, and then he takes the elbow as Lambier comes down from that rebound. He catches him with the left elbow right in the face.
Scottie Pippen has been the second leading scorer for the Chicago Bulls and their leading rebounder in this series.
Here we have another look at it. You'll see that it's an accident. There it is right there. Lambier did not have any idea of who was there, whether it was a shame.
About to get into the ball game for Detroit.
And you know what? You can feel, oh, there's a foul on Isaiah Thomas just throwing down Scottie Pippen on that screen. He just took both arms and threw him down. Now that's 5 team fouls, which is going to put him in the penalty. Watch this right here. Watch Isaiah. He takes it and just throws him down.
And it's 4 personals on Isaiah, who the long arms of Sally.
Oh, man.
Foul by Pippen. Taking Lambier down as hard as you'll see.
I tell you, I thought Bill Lambier hurt his back there. He came down in a very, very awkward position.
John Sally standing in there to have something to say to Scottie Pippen.
You know, there was an article in the Chicago Tribune after 2 games about Scottie Pippen not wanting to go in the paint. And man, oh man, look at this. I thought he hurt his back. Take a look at this right here.
I'd say there was some contact there.
For 2. He's in the box.
Pippen just hit Rodman right on the jaw. But he definitely pops a double technical. Okay, on Rodman and Pippen that time.
Take a look at it again.
Now, hopefully we have it right from the beginning. Now, here they are. They're walking to the foul line. There it is. Boom. And then he just pops them. So you can see that it was a give and take. But both guys are playing Jordan. Watch how he fights through the screen. Fights through the Pippen screen. Now he's up in there. He's on
To Paxson. To Pippen. Who's hammered by Sally.
He caught him hard that time. Took a swipe. Now, this is different than the first one.
That's a lot different.
Right, Dumars had his arms up in the air. And you're going to see, we're going to give you a replay, and Sally definitely takes a swipe. Now, here's your drop-off. Now, that kind of surprised him. You see, now there he goes right there. See, he caught him right alongside the neck. So they're saying, okay, a deliberate hit, His first, no rebounds in the first half, no foul shot attempts.
Only 8 points. Pippen is hammered inside, and 3 Pistons converged on him. Rollins, Rodman, and Lambier. As Rodman put a right arm on top of Pippen's back.
Well, they rotated, did an excellent job. Just watch Rollins. He keeps him behind the backboard. Here they come down inside. Forearm by Lambier. Rodman comes on his back, and even Rollins had it in the basket.
Rodman for 3. He's got it. Oh, my goodness. Rodman was 1 of 4 in the playoffs.
Here's Rodman taking a 3.
Dwyer switching off on Pippen. Look out, Pippen sent flying, and the hand offered by Rodman. And you look at the expression of Rodman as Pippen would have no part of the help. He's upset.
The difference right there is that when Detroit switched that time, Aguirre is not able to keep Pippen in front of him. Pippen turns the corner. Aguirre trying to make sure that he doesn't get to the basket.
Armstrong and Craig Hodges now in the backcourt. Cliff Levingston, Bill Cartwright, and Scottie Pippen up for a beautiful backdoor pass for Pippen, and he is walloped, and that will be a flagrant foul. And it's getting very, very tough out there. Again, an unnecessary hit taken by the Pistons.
And then there was a real hard foul, a great backdoor play that the Bulls love to run, and they really let the guy have it, and then Rodman did pushing.
Yeah, I think that's a clear-cut cheap shot. No question, clear-cut.
That is a cheap shot, and it should not be allowed.
Very quick, and look out. Pippen and Rodman looking to go at each other. Now, in the past, you know the story of the famed migraine headache suffered by Scottie Pippen. There's another look at it.
You can see right there, Marv, that he is really getting physical. And I think what has happened is this. I think that the frustration of the Pistons is really coming out. The fact that they can't get the job done.
Timeout.
The offensive follow. It's 3-on-1. Starks. Jackson to Starks. He's fouled by Pippen.
Oh, Scottie Pippen is okay. Scottie took a nasty fall on his back.
You could hear it all the way over here when Pippen went over the back of Starks and hit he hit so very hard. It brought this crowd to a stunned silence.
And I want to say this in a nice way, but there's not much padding back there either for him to fall on. When Scottie goes down, you see the great block, and there's the foul, and boom. You know, the only thing that saved him was the fact he rode Starks' back down.
On Paxson. Jordan threatening to come over to help. Jackson rejected by Pippen. Scottie Pippen with a terrific play. Now Pippen goes all the way. And he was fouled. He was blocked. There's Jackson getting a Chicago affiliate. Pippen on a steal. Pippen, oh, he is ripped by Starks. And that could be, yes, it is a flagrant foul. Pippen is shaken up. A flagrant foul called on John Starks and called for.
Now Anthony impatiently throws that ball, hoping that it's going to work out well. He had no vision. Starks, looking like he's going for the ball, was not fortunate to get the basketball. He got too much. And it looked like a double hit with Mason. Take a look after the initial hit. Now Pippen takes another shot from Mason as he falls. Oh.
For Paxson. Here comes Pippen. Drexler turns his back and then called for the foul. And Pippen is hurt. And Clyde over to take a look.
That whole thing started because of the court balance of the Trailblazers. He had Duckworth outside shooting a jump shot with a guard trying to rotate to him. No one covered the backcourt. Suddenly you look up and you have two Chicago Bulls, Pippen and Jordan, out there streaking. Drexler trying to recover and get in front way too late. Pippen, who had back surgery in the offseason, lands on that bad spot.
Drexler, very concerned, went over to check it out. Blazers 3-on-2. Oh, what a ball fake by Drexler, and now he's fouled by Pippen.
I think that Scottie Pippen remembered who had committed the foul at the other end of the floor. Pippen chasing him down, going to make sure that he just gets enough of him to send the message back. The numbers, they're out early. The pitch ahead pass by Porter. Pippen not conceding anything easy. What makes players great and teams great, the ability to get off a shot and make it when you need it.
Oh, Pippen was hit hard. Things beginning to get a bit rough. Mason called for the foul. Mason with his second.
It wasn't that Pippen got thrown to the ground. He's losing his footing right there. as Oakley tries to prevent the shot from going up. It's just, of course, natural that he's going to go down. It made it look, to some extent, that he threw him to the ground. I don't think Oakley intended it.
And the ball back to Chicago.
Scottie Pippen stepping up to take that hard charge by Charles Oakley, and the crowd showing their appreciation for that. And that was no flop. He took that thing head on, a page out of the New York Knicks book. It was interesting on the last possession by Chicago, Charles Oakley fronting the post play. Oh, here both going for the ball out of there as Bill Cartwright, the man that he was traded to Chicago for some 6 years ago, is trying to push Oakley out of there. For New York, Charles Oakley is having some words right now with Ron Harper, discussing the way the start of this game has gone. But
Longley to bail him out.
now Scottie Pippen going in with the left hand, a little bit out of control. Collision with Oakley, too far underneath the basket, but the hard elbow by Charles Oakley on his playoff.
And John Starks and Ron Harper. And let's check in with Craig Sager.
Back injuries are not supposed to be contagious, but they're definitely spreading with the Bulls. Michael Jordan has been able to play through his back strain. However, more severe strain has hampered Scottie Pippen's ability to move laterally on defense and vertically on rebounding. And then there's the injury to Tony Kukoc, who is in street clothes tonight. Earlier tonight, he was awarded the NBA's top 6th man award. However, his strain has prevented him from even practicing or dressing out tonight. As
Scottie Pippen sitting down after collecting his second foul. He had said he would be more aggressive offensively tonight. You can see the struggle through this final series. He feels Wednesday night he was settling for shots instead of taking it to the basket, but as we touched on earlier, sore ankles and other injuries have certainly affected his quickness and his slashing ability.
Well, Scottie was having a fabulous season up until around the All-Star break, and because of those injuries, his shot has really left him. He has been erratic this last third of the season.
Steve Kerr obviously is playing hurt and has been playing hurt for a good portion of the season, the end of the season and on to the playoffs. Says his ankles are bothering him. Scottie saying your shot comes from your base. I haven't felt physically the way I did early in the year. I'm not looking for excuses. Gary Krause, the vice president of basketball operation for the Bulls, made the statement the other day that he'd love to see Scottie take off and rest after the season. He's a member of the Dream Team in the Olympic Games, but the indication is that Scottie Pippen will take just a brief rest and then join the Dream Team in their training camp. Here's Kemp.
Jordan and Pippen have 22 of the 24 points the Bulls have in the quarter. Jordan lost it. Murray. Pippen is driving in, and the basket counts for the foul. Scottie Pippen alertly went baseline. He is on the floor right now, maybe shaken up, but a huge basket for Pippen, giving the Bulls the lead, and will go to the line to shoot with 7.4 seconds remaining.
Now that was a prime time clutch play by Scottie Pippen, but he is hurting right now. But he took that rebound out of the miss, the lost ball by Michael, and drove that ball hard and sent it down strong.
Scottie Pippen, who has scored 10 of his 20 points here in the fourth quarter, will go to the line if he can. He has really been shaken up, but an alert play by Pippen.
Go baseline. Watch Scottie go baseline strong right there. 2 hands strong. Unfortunately for him, he gets caught on the rim and he drops down right to the floor, catching his hip. Now just watch it right here. See, as he falls, bam, that is a hard fall.
Point. Right now, let's go over to Craig Sager.
well, Scottie, all night long, Hubie Brown talked about Scottie Pippen doing everything. His shot may not be there, the defense, but what about the back-breaking shot at the end?
Well, it was a tough shot. You know, Michael lost the ball right there, and, you know, at that stage of the game, you have to take the ball to the hole hard, and that's what I tried to do. I got a hard foul and I paid for it, but, you know, it was a win for us.
Pippen, he is crushed and taken down by P.J. Brown.
And all 3 officials immediately looking at one another to see if that's a possible flagrant foul. As Scottie Pippen flagrant foul, as P.J. Brown And you can see that really was not going for the ball. Went for the outstretched right arm of Scottie Pippen. And in an attempt to commit a hard foul, which is what you want to do any time of the year, in particular in the playoffs, no layups, but you also have to make a good, honest play on the basketball. P.J. Brown didn't do it on that.
Jordan for three. Pippen off the rebound. Oh, he is pounded by Chicago. Scottie Pippen was claiming that he's all right, but Dennis Rodman coming over to check out Pippen, who was in pain.
Whoa. Scottie Pippen with the knot on the head on the hard foul by Alonzo Mourning. Alonzo Mourning out of foul trouble in the first half, only with one, now with two. The pump fake gets Mourning in the air, and then Mourning coming down hard for the hard foul, making sure trying to come across the arms to prevent Pippen from getting that shot off in a possible three-point play.
Pippen was hacked. Oh, Scottie Pippen to the free throw line. And Marley collecting his first by Chicago. Scottie Pippen looks to be hobbling as he comes out, replaced by Tony Kukoc. Tony Kukoc has been very quiet.
Scottie Pippen getting his left ankle worked on to tighten up that tape. On that one penetration play he made, seemed to come down awkwardly, and had some words with Tim Hardaway right after that. But Scottie Pippen has had the mindset throughout this series to be more aggressive in going to the basket, and in game 4 he took plenty of lumps when he did go, in particular that lump on his head, as Tony Kukoc continuing to struggle, looks very slow out on the floor.
And Chicago maintains possession. For more on Scottie Pippen, let's go to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, Scottie twisted his ankle, and what they're doing right now is trainer Chip Schaefer is retaping the ankle, and he'll try to go with it then, and then he'll take a closer look at it at halftime. Marv?
All right, thanks, Ahmad. Stockton finding Russell. And Russell called for the offensive foul.
Smart defense by Chicago right now, and a lot of teams do this to Utah coming down the stretch. Do anything to get the ball out of the hands of John Stockton, make other people make decisions, and in this case, Brian Russell, they would prefer to make him the guy doing what has to be done.
3 team fouls. The Jazz missing their last 5 shots. They've gone 5.5 minutes without a field goal.
And the Jazz, known for their sharp execution, especially down the stretch, has been very careless. They're not getting the spacing, so they can't set up the picks, and they can't get the hard cuts from Karl Malone.
11 on the shot clock. Karl's not pushing.
Traction of their uncertain future would prove far less of a challenge than an early injury to Scottie Pippen.
We were dealt with the deficit early on. That was Scottie Pippen being out, so we had to basically, put our boots on and go out there and somehow find a way to survive.
Option of Scottie Pippen at 19 points a game. They are struggling to try to find the right combination.
Travis Best puts the nail in the coffin. Oh, that's a monster win for Indiana.
We lost the game in Indiana, and I think the guys realized that this is no fun. We got to get it going.
While there were some who questioned Chicago's resolve, Michael Jordan wasn't one of them.
Michael, are you resigned to the fact that it's going to be like this for a couple months until Scottie comes back?
No. I wouldn't assume that if I were you guys either.
And Jordan would get a lift from a healthy Scottie Pippen, whose time off had not been wasted.
After missing 35 games, it gave me a great opportunity to really evaluate and see the value in what I could bring back to the team.
What Scottie brought was his vast array of skills, and his comeback instantly galvanized the Bulls.
Scottie's return really picked up our spirits, and I think that's one of the reasons we started to play a lot better.
As for Weber, stolen by Pippen. Scottie Pippen in the passing lane.
Harper can't make it 2 in a row.
Look long.
Pippen gets back and picks it off. Wesley was hanging back, trying to steal a basket. Pippen made the defensive play and may have hurt himself. He was holding his lower back, and the Bulls asked for time. Let's take a look. Maybe we can pick up how it happened.
As Pippen goes up to intercept this pass, watch as he comes down on that one leg. And I think he twisted his back. You see him grab his back. All the force and weight came down on that one leg. Watch as he extends, and he comes down on that right leg, and boom, there it is. And all the force is registered right into that lower back. You see him grabbing his back right away.
Now, after my first year coaching in Chicago with Scottie Pippen, he had back surgery and responded well and came back. So this is a guy, after his first year in the NBA, did have back surgery.
But see, I love Scottie Pippen because he's a warrior. If you can think back to last year in that Washington series that they won 3-1, he goes into Washington and he gets the last shot where he's hanging on the rim and he falls flat on his back and he gets right back up.
Here's Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Bob. Scottie Pippen, as you saw, just twisted his back a little bit. A sharp pain, but as you can see, he's still in the game, so he's fine. Bob?
In front, picks it off. Ahead to Russell against Pippen. And an offensive foul as Scottie had established position. He's already gotten Michael Jordan's attention. Listen during the last timeout.
Hey, if Malone driving, you won't know the tag. You can just win the lane.
Jordan is telling Kukoc to slide in front of Karl Malone when he's driving down the lane. But Tony Kukoc is saying, hey, Malone's a big guy. I don't know if I want to sacrifice my body and get in front of him.
Hey, this is the finals. You better sacrifice everything. Malone from Stockton. Offensive foul, takes it away, wave it off. That's number 2 on Karl.
I can't believe they're waving this shot off. I thought Malone had released this ball. It's a real tough call here. It's a beautiful screen roll. You see the pass.
The feed from Jordan to Kukoc, but he juggles it into the hands of Malone. Stockton to Karl, who lays it in, but it won't count. Another offensive foul on Malone.
Stockton gave that ball up a little bit too soon. He allowed Scottie Pippen to be back. And instead of making him play him where he can drop it off, you don't see this very often. Stockton gives it up, and now Pippen still has time to react. And he gets over. That's twice we've seen that today, where Scottie Pippen has stepped in front of Malone and taken away a score.
And Scottie Pippen gave up his body, what he was telling Tony Kukoc to do. And I saw Jordan walk back and grab Tony Kukoc and say, see, that's what I want you to do, is step in front of Malone and take the charge.
Utah came into this series brimming with confidence. Not bravado, but confidence. Anderson with the offensive foul. Russell. Hornacek will open on Pippen. He'll try and post Scottie on him. They go to it right away. Stockton comes over on the double team. Now back to Scottie, and they couldn't recover. Hornacek was left alone with him, and an easy 2 for Scottie.
That's going to be the stretch.
It looks like Scottie Pippen is laboring as he moves up and down the court. Ahmad told you he's suffering from a bad back. Malone.
Bob, I think Scottie Pippen pulled his back out on that dunk shot on his first play when he reached up for the rim and he pulled it down. I think he stretched up and he grimaced as he came down and he could barely run. Pippen come across the lane, and as he reaches up to dunk, he pulls his back out, and you see him grimace as he comes up the floor. Let's keep our eye on Scottie Pippen tonight.
Let's check in with Ahmad.
Bob, Scottie Pippen's really having a bad problem. In trying to bring the ball down, you can notice Michael sending him down the floor so he can bring the ball up. Now, as we mentioned earlier, that the strategy was to go to Scottie in the post. If his back continues to bother him, they may have to change that strategy. Bob?
You can see him with his hands on his knees, bending over, trying to limber up, wincing quite a bit. Malone hits the first, generally. Hornacek loses it to Harper. And a whistle as Harper comes stampeding into the lane.
Now, Bob, Scottie Pippen came back and got that steal, but he is really struggling right now. You're going to see him come in from behind, and after he knocks this ball away,
he really sort of stands, and I watched him the whole way. He looked over at the bench at Phil Jackson, like saying, I don't feel very good right now. He's standing up straight. That's the first sign of a back injury, when a guy stops bending his knees.
A back injury is one of the most crippling of injuries, especially in an athletic context. And I'm not trying to compare a physical injury to an illness, but it was here in this building where Michael Jordan, sick as a dog, managed to gut it out in Game 5 of last year's final, the pivotal game. Scottie Pippen is probably mindful of that and will give it everything he's got to try to equal the effort that his teammate Michael Jordan has shown in the past.
See, Bob, that's why I think it's very, very important for the Jazz to lock in on Tony Kukoc.
But he's playing in pain as he takes Adam Keefe into the middle and shoots his patented little jump hook. And as he falls to the floor, you can see it's very difficult for him to get up with that bad back. You see him running up the floor, not able to get the type of push and the speed that he normally would have.
Lead by 9, but here's the bad news for them. Moments ago, Scottie Pippen, accompanied by trainer Chip Schaefer, leaves the bench and heads for the locker room. With more, here's Ahmad.
All right, Bob, I just spoke with Chip, and he told me that Scottie asked out of the game, and he wants to go back in the locker room and try to stretch his back out and try to get it more loose before he tries to come back in. I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll keep you posted. Let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thanks, Ahmad. Well, during that timeout, Jerry Sloan.
Ahmad Rashad back at the Delta Center, and early on, Scottie Pippen re-injured his back on that dunk shot that he had just at the beginning of the game. He has been in the locker room for the past 5 or 6 minutes trying to stretch that back out. He has both doctors in there. They're just trying to see what they can do to get him ready to play. And if anything else happens, I will be here to report it to you. Bob?
Ahmad, thanks a lot. Guys.
All right, Bob, I just found out that they're working on Scottie Pippen in the back, and I've been told that Scottie says he's telling the medical staff that he is not able to play. So that could be the end of it for Scottie tonight. Bob?
Judd Bushler.
Ahmad Rashad back at the Delta Center. Now an update on Scottie Pippen. The time that he was doing the stretching, trying to see if he could come back and play, he was in the officials' dressing room trying to get the stretching. He has now moved from that locker room to his own locker room, but the word is that he's still unable to play. Bob?
Ahmad, thanks a lot.
Lead the Bulls by 4. Now the big story here in the first half has been the condition of Scottie Pippen's back. He has really been hurting. But during the halftime, the massage therapist gave him ice, massage. His back was having spasms. He got the spasms to stop, and Scottie Pippen is back out here on the floor. Whether or not he'll be able to play and play effectively, we'll find out. He is starting the second half. Let's go down to Jim Gray.
All right, thanks, Ahmad. Well, they thought that Scottie Pippen was going to be out of the game, so Jerry Sloan told his guys they were going to focus a lot more attention on Michael Jordan. All of that, of course, could change now. Very unhappy with the way they defended.
Now you watch Scottie Pippen, and let's take a look at how he's running. You see, he's laboring to get up and down the court. That back is still bothering him. Let's see how he goes.
Got to be very careful. Knocked out, 3 on the shot clock. Howard Isley back on the floor now. Stockton getting a breather with 4:15 to play in the third. Pippen got a hand on it. They've got to shoot it in a hurry, and they can't get it off in time. 24-second violation against. Scottie has come out. Kukoc, Burrell, and Kerr all in. There's Pippen heading back to the locker room again to try to stretch out that ailing back. Russell missed the first. But
back at the Delta Center. Now the strategy on Scottie Pippen, they had him in the back. They were putting ice on his back and electrical stimulation for pain relief, and they were trying to bide their time up until the 10-minute mark to bring him back out and see if he could play the last 10 minutes of the game. As you can see, he's back. He's on the floor. We just have to see how it goes. Bob?
Ahmad, thanks. Malone is doubled. They swat at it and steal it. Here comes Chicago. 17 seconds. 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Timeout, Utah. 5.2 seconds left.
All right, thank you very much, Ahmad. Tonight, one of the truly gutty performances in the finals by Scottie Pippen. Scottie, how badly were you hurt during this game?
I was hurting pretty bad, to start the game off. I was able to get a dunk when I came down. The pain just sort of built from that point, and every time I tried to run, I was getting spasms. But I knew I wanted to come back and try to give a better performance in the second half, so I just tried to take advantage of that little bit of time before the half and, you know, see what I can do. And I came out the second half, and Chip wanted to give me a little treatment, and I took the treatment, and I told him from there I was going to just try to gut it out. You know, I felt like that my presence out on the floor would mean more than just sitting in the locker room.
Initially, you didn't think you could come back, and then the miracle happened there at halftime. How much did you revert back to some of the things that had happened to you in the past, and you knew that if you gutted it out this time that it could change all of that?
Well, I knew I was going to come back the second half. I have to correct you on that. I knew, but I just didn't know how much I was going to be able to give. I knew I wanted to just hope that the team could stay in the game, keep it close, and if I could come back out, let my presence be known out on the court.
Now, Scottie, you were in tears after the game. Was this your most difficult championship, and why the tears this time? Is it maybe because you feel it's ending?
Well, I think they all have brought tears to my eyes, but this one's so difficult because, you know, I felt like to some degree without me being out on the court that I was kind of letting the team down, and they understood, but, you know, I wanted to be there. I wanted to be a present. I wanted to play a major role in the game, but the other guys came off the bench, held us in there the first half, especially Michael. He had a heck of a game, and, you know, everything else is history.
Now, you hold the key here to these teams returning. Michael said if you come back, he'll come back, and Phil and so forth. What are your thoughts? Will you come back? Would you take a one-year deal? What will go through your thought process in making this determination?
Well, Jim, right now I just have to, you know, let everything soak in. You know, there's a lot of opportunities out there for me, and, you know, I have to look more down the road at my future, but, you know, I don't know. You know, after all this soaks in and get back and get my back on track, you know, you never know.
Is there a twinge of sadness with you, a little melancholy feeling right now that it may be ending?
Excuse me?
Are you feeling a little sad right now that this could be coming to a close?
No, not really. You know, we're going to enjoy this, and, you know, as long as we can. You know, as a player right now, I don't feel like it's over. You know, we got a lot of celebration to do, and I'm not really looking forward to next season right now.
Final thought, the Utah Jazz and Karl Malone, a spectacular effort. What would your thoughts be toward them?
It was great. You know, Karl and John, you know, they're some gutty performers. What is Hornacek, Russell, who's grown and matured and, you know, had a fabulous series. You know, we take our hats off to this team. The fans here have really came out and made us work hard. You know, it was a great series. You know, it was a even better series than last series. Even though, you know, both series ended at 6 games, this topped it all.